Okay, story time. When I was younger, I used to go clothes shopping every single weekend. My entire wardrobe was made up of impulse purchases. If I saw it in the stores that day, it had to come home with me. Obviously, there was just no cohesion in my personal style, and I had this mismatched kind of look that really didn't represent me properly. If you fast forward to today, I'm a completely different person, and today's video, I really wanted to share with you all of the kind of condensed and distilled wisdom that I have learned through my years of trial and error, so that you can go ahead and skip all of my mistakes and get straight to the good part of building your dream wardrobe. Today's video is going to be a chunky one. It's a masterclass, and it is in collaboration with Fabrique. Fabrique is a collective designer brand that works with over 300 designers worldwide, including those who have worked at prestigious houses such as Chanel and Dior, all the way through to the Row and Bottega Veneta. I'm so excited to share with you some of their pieces today, along with an exclusive discount code, which I will leave on the screen and down below in the description box. If you're currently struggling with your personal style or your wardrobe, know that you are not alone, and please could you write me your biggest dilemma or frustration right now in the comments, so that I can come and help give you some moral support. And also it gives me beautiful ideas for videos in the future that I can dive a little bit deeper into some of those problems. The first and most important step when it comes to curating your dream wardrobe is to zoom out. Start thinking big picture and start thinking long term. It is so crucial for you to zoom out from this one item, this one purchase, and start thinking about your wardrobe as a whole. If you want to learn more about long-term wardrobe planning, I've linked a video for you to watch after this one. But for today, there's two questions that I want you to ask yourself. Number one, would I purchase this item in a year's time? Okay? And number two, would I have wanted to buy this piece a year ago? Let's take this first piece from Fabrique as an example. It's an immaculate wool coat in double face wool. It's 90% wool and 10% cashmere. Incredibly warm, incredibly soft, obviously in a classic black. It also has a detachable scarf detail. It was designed by Salal Fabre, who has also worked at Hermes and Mueller, as well as at Tod's and Moncler Genius. Now, does it tick off my boxes as far as would I want to buy it next year? The answer is like an immediate yes. It ticks off all of those requirements that I would have for my perfect winter coat. The second question is about the past, and this might seem a little bit counterintuitive. However, there is some aspect of your personal style which remains unchanged over the years. And if you can see yourself loving this in the past as a past version of yourself, oftentimes these are the items that will transcend trends and that you will love for years and years to come. It sort of brings up this idea of the core essence of your personal style and your taste. Before I show you the rest of the pieces from Fabrique, I did want to mention that they're currently running a sale. They rarely run sales, but they have one on now that runs until October 31st, and the discount code in the description box will also get you a further 12% off on top, stacked on top of that sale price as well. This next piece is called the Corinne skirt, and it's been designed by Adriano Goldschmidt. He was one of the co-founders of Diesel, and I loved this skirt immediately. I can see so many ways of wearing this in my everyday life. Everything from the buttons down the front to the classic A-line shape, which I love to wear as a pair. I just feel like that's such a flattering shape to wear. And then the faded kind of black wash of the denim. It's just right up my alley. And if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you also know that Granny Weatherwax is one of my personal icons. So this skirt to me is giving Granny Weatherwax, and that's just another massive reason why I absolutely love this piece. And then by contrast, the Lila cardigan is so bright and colorful. It's got like every color of the rainbow on here, and I just think it's so fun, so playful, and it's really giving that toddler core that I'm mentioned in my last video, or was it the video before? I can't remember. This piece is in their sale right now, and it was designed by Heidi Bischoff, who has designed for Ulla Johnson, which is a label that I love to browse. Because it's 100% merino wool, it's so comfortable to wear, even though it's perfect obviously for knitwear season, for brightening up a dull autumn day or a dull winter day. There's something about the merino that it's kind of comfortable to wear on, say, a cooler summer night. So this is one of those pieces that's so versatile because it's kind of seasonless, at least where I live. And I just love how fun and how playful it is. The stripes are mismatched from one sleeve to the other. They're not exactly the same. And that's so unique. The Lucy mock neck sweater, I think I've been wearing every single day this week. I just can't resist. I can't take it off. It's so cozy. I've been wearing it in the cooler, chilly mornings, having my little cup of coffee, and it's just like wearing a warm hug. It's from their Essentials line, and it's got this beautiful speckled kind of Donegal yarn vibe to it. Again, it's merino wool, 97% merino wool, so it's very comfortable to wear, and it does have a little bit of heft and a little bit of structure to it, so it gives it that little bit more of an elevation. It's such a wearable piece for when I want to feel extra cozy, and because of that kind of slight structure to it, it kind of feels appropriate not just for loungewear, but then also if you just want to go out on a cozy date night. I actually love how it looks paired underneath the coat because it shows off that round collar and neckline of the coat really well. The Lauren cable knit sweater is something that I'm wearing today. They're calling it a sweater, but I mean it's really more of like a knitted t-shirt, and it's got this beautiful cable knit detailing as well as a Henley neckline, which I'm always drawn to a Henley neckline. I find them very kind of understated sexy. They're very flattering on a lot of different body types, and you can kind of adjust where you want the buttons to go down, whether you want to be a little bit more demure and have it like buttoned up towards the top, or like open it pretty much almost all the way down like I have done today. Essentially, it is an elevated t-shirt, so it's so simple to style this. You can wear it with jeans, you can dress it up with a skirt, you can throw on a beautiful jacket on top of it, and I just think this tomato red is just everything to me. I love the color. It also comes in a white and a grey, and it was so hard for me to choose which color I wanted. It's made out of merino wool, but it feels so soft, like it feels like it could be cashmere. It's so beautiful to wear. The Celeste dress is something incredibly special. This is 100% wool, again, very comfortable to wear, merino wool. I'll put the designer's name on screen as I can't actually pronounce it, but she has worked for Chloe and Isabelle Marant, and I think I can see kind of influences of those two brand aesthetics coming through in this piece. I've never seen anything quite like this, with the beautiful body contouring kind of going around and down the sides, and then accentuated with those lovely beads. It kind of almost is like armor on your body, but like really, really feminine, kind of shapely armor. I don't know what it is about this dress, but I feel like it's really special. You'll probably recognize it if you follow along with my community page, because I was asking you guys whether I should be pairing it with my Everlane flats or my Vivaya boots. And I think it looks equally as cute with both of them, but it just kind of gives a different vibe, whether you want to be a bit more classy, girly, demure, or whether you want to put on the boots and feel a little bit more boss lady kick-ass. Someone put it so succinctly in one of the comments. I feel like it's such a special piece, and I've never seen anything quite like it. This last piece is another dress. It's the Jessica dress, and it was designed by Anna Pang. She has her own label called Index Series, as well as having worked at Assembly New York and Parsons, and I believe she also used to intern at The Row. So at first glance, this dress is just like this classic long line knitted dress, but for me, it's the details that make it really, really special. It's got this fringe detailing all the way down the front, as well as on the kind of shoulders here. And then it has this beautiful tie around the waist, which you can remove if you want, but I just love that kind of Grecian edge that it gives to the dress when you have it all tied up. It's also got this beautiful kind of elongating ribbing detail and a side slit on one side. For me, these tiny details like the little tie, they make it so much more elegant and thoughtful, and it seems a little bit more of an intentional piece piece than if it was just plain and didn't have those details. So it's that, as well as the quality, that really makes this piece feel so luxurious when you're wearing it. It truly feels like an upgrade. It feels like a special piece to wear, and this is something that I'm going to be cherishing for years to come. It does also come in this amazing electric blue, which I was considering as well, but I mean, just knowing myself, black is always going to have my heart. If you loved any of these pieces or just want to see more of their stunning collection, you can use any of the links that I have down in the description box, and be sure to use my code as well for a further 12% off. Their sale runs until October 31st, but you can use my discount code at any time. I also just saw that Katie Louise put up a video on her channel about her favorite picks from Fabrique, so I'll leave that linked down below as well, because she chose things completely different than me, and I just love seeing what other people choose as well. Thanks so much to Fabrique for working with me on today's video, and we'll move on to point number 2 in building your dream wardrobe. Let's talk about using versatile building blocks. I used to think that versatile meant boring. I used to think that versatile meant bland. I used to think that the only way that something could be versatile is if it was like the most nothing thing that had no details, that just blended into the background, therefore it would go with everything in my wardrobe, right? And I was so wrong. I was wrong. Okay, I admit it, I was wrong. The most versatile piece in your wardrobe is something that you love. And the reason why is because if you love something, you're going to be reaching for that all the time. You're going to be finding any excuse to reach for that special item in your wardrobe. You're going to find any excuse to create outfits around it, create a vibe around that piece. That piece could be loud. It could be like striped and colorful, like the lilac cardigan that I showed you. To me, that's versatile because it makes me excited to wear it, and because I can think of so many different ways that I would pair it with things in my wardrobe. That is a memorable piece. That is a piece that people will look at and associate with me now and remember as my personal style. It's not some bland white t-shirt. It's something that has my stamp of personality on it. So kind of versatility, I feel like it needs to be more in terms of like creativity, like how many creative ways can you think of wearing this piece? The love factor, I feel like, is a huge component of whether something becomes versatile in your wardrobe or not. It's really easy to get caught up in this idea of versatility and building blocks and having like 1 + 1 = 2, but your wardrobe is really more of a personal expression. It's more of a dynamic space. It's really like 1 + 1 = 3, because the sum of the parts becomes more than, you know, each of them individually by themselves. That's where the expression comes through. That's where the personal style comes through. It's not because you like followed some formula. It's because you followed your heart and you followed your creativity. I did a poll a few weeks back on my community page about, is it more important to you how clothing looks or how it makes you feel? And the overwhelming response was, it's more important how this piece of clothing makes me feel. And I completely agree with that, because even if something looks good from the outside, if you don't feel comfortable wearing it, you're going to feel awkward, and therefore you're going to look awkward as well. It's so much more important that you feel comfortable, that you feel confident, that you feel whatever it is that you want to feel in your clothes for that particular moment in time. And just being aware of the impact that your clothes can have on your emotional well-being is absolutely groundbreaking, life-changing. You'll never put on a pair of jeans that are too skinny for you ever again in your life. I promise you that. There's definitely a journey with our clothes as far as like the first time we see them, what they make us feel, and then as we wear them again and again and we add memories into those pieces, how they make us feel, what they help us to remember about who we are. Clothing can be such a powerful tool to help you get the best and get the most out of your life and creating beautiful memories as you go. Another really important stage of wardrobe planning is getting the balance right. Sometimes we slip into these comfort zones of collecting a certain type of item when we know we already have enough. We already have overkill of jackets, or we already have enough t-shirts, but we just can't help buying another one, you know? There's a few different things here. I feel like we love to be in our comfort zone, number one. We know that we look good in a specific type of piece, and it's kind of scary to push ourselves out of the comfort zone into the growth zone where we might be trying something new, or we might be trying a silhouette that we don't quite know if it's going to suit us or if it's going to fit our lifestyle yet. Obviously, if all you own are t-shirts, like, you're not going to be able to leave the house because, girl, you need some pants on, you need a skirt or something. Like, we all need to have a specific, balance in our own wardrobes. There's no like magic number of items that you need to have. It's just having enough to where you can mix and match comfortably and create enough vibrancy and enough choice from your outfits. And actually, most of us need less than what we think to create that kind of balance and that kind of choice between items. This is another small part of long-term wardrobe planning, where we're again zooming out and looking at the whole ecosystem of the wardrobe and just noticing, okay, so I have lots of tops but not really that many bottoms. And for some people that really works because they might not wash their bottoms as often. Their bottoms might go with, more tops. But when you look at your wardrobe as a whole, you'll be able to notice and know for yourself. Somebody else won't be able to tell you. You'll just know for yourself whether or not you have the correct balance of items available to where you can pick and choose comfortably and create outfits in your wardrobe. Last thing that I wanted to talk about today is really about prioritizing wardrobe gaps. It's so important to prioritize your wardrobe gaps, especially if you're working with a limited budget, limited resources, limited space, and you can't store like a million different options. It's very important to have priorities as far as like what is the most important thing, like what's the most important gap that I need to fill in my wardrobe right now. I feel like the way that you prioritize gaps is to begin with lifestyle gaps. So for example, like a raincoat that you need right now or a pair of winter boots that you need right now, and then moving on to the aesthetics gaps. So what are the feelings that I'm wanting to evoke in my wardrobe that are currently not available in the selection that I have? Do I need something feminine? Do I need something more structured? More information on that in this video linked below and in the cards. And then the last priority that I would say is to focus on your upgrades. So usually most of us have some sort of like placeholders in our wardrobe, which are basically items that work for right now, but they are not perfect. They're not the one. They're not exactly, giving what I want them to give. They're not filling that gap perfectly. For whatever reason, certain items in your wardrobe sometimes need an upgrade or just need replacement due to like wearing out or getting old or getting stained or whatever. So I feel like the upgrades are kind of last on the list because you currently have something that could work in that scenario, but it would be better if you had something that fitted that role a little bit more perfectly. I feel like many of us put off doing the upgrading because we kind of feel like, oh, good enough is good enough. But there's some sort of magic that happens when you allow yourself to step into the realms of, I'm going to get exactly what I want from my wardrobe. It really brings you to that next level of personal style. It brings you to that next level of self-respect. And I feel like there's something really, really powerful when we allow ourselves to own that. Like, it's kind of a power move, and it ends up like spilling out into other areas of your life where you realize, okay, I'm not going to compromise anymore. I'm worth more. And like, my bar is at this level now. And like, it needs to meet the requirements in order to be welcome in my life. All right, guys, the turkey's out to roost. I don't know what I'm saying. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you made it this far, leave me a little emoji down in the comments so that I know that you're one of the queens. Thanks so much for sticking around. Remember to use my discount code linked down below to shop Fabrique, and I will see you very, very shortly in my next one. Bye.